In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a new class in Java. Just like the first part of this series, I'm using IntelliJ as my IDE or code editor. If you prefer to use a different editor, that's perfectly fine. It doesn't really matter. So here we have a brand new project. In this project, we want to add a text box class. Now in Java, we should add each class to a separate file, and this helps us organize our code in a better way. So let's open the project panel and expand the source folder. This is the main package that we have in this project. In this package, we have only a single class, the main class. Now let's right click here and add a new Java class. We're going to call this text box. Now look at the naming convention I have used here. This is Pascal naming convention. So we capitalize the first letter of every word. Okay. Make sure the kind is set to class. Okay. So here's our text box class. Let's collapse this window. This public keyword we have here is an access modifier, and it determines if other classes in this project can use this class or not. We're going to talk about access modifiers later in this section. So for now, we're just going to go with public, which means this class is visible to all other classes in this project. So we have public class text box. Now inside this curly braces, we're going to add 3 members. First is the text field, and we use that to store the text inside the text box. So we start with the public access modifier. Then we specify the type of this field, just like declaring a variable. That's going to be a string. And then we give it a name. Now here we're using the camel casing notation. With camel case, we should capitalize the first letter of every word except the first word. So here we have only a single word. That's why all characters are in lowercase. So this is our field. Now let's declare a couple of methods. We start with public. Then we specify the return type of this method. I'm going to use void because I don't want to return any values from this method. Let's call it set text and give it a parameter, string text. Now in this method, we want to set the value of this text field based on what is passed here. So we type text equals text, but this code is confusing. It's not quite clear what we have on the right or the left side of the assignment operator. So in situations where the name of a parameter is exactly the same as the name of a field, we can use the this keyword. Let me show you. So this is a reference to the current object. So here we can use the dot operator to see the members of this object. Here we have the text field. Look, the icon of this member is F, which represents a field. We also have these methods like clone, equals, and so on. We didn't declare these methods, so how did they appear here? Well, this happens through a mechanism called inheritance. So every class that we declare in Java automatically inherits these methods from another class. We're going to look at that in the next section. So now we set this text field to the value of this text parameter. So here's one method. Now let's declare another method. Once again, public void. We're going to call this clear. And in this method, we don't want to have any parameters. We just want to clear the text of this text box. So we can type this, the text. We set this to an empty string. Now, in this case, we don't really need to use the this keyword because we don't have a parameter called text. So if we remove this, it's obvious that this text is the field that we declared over here. So here's our text box class with 3 members, a field, and 2 methods. Now, technically in Java, we should not declare fields as public. So if you're a bit more experienced and are watching this course as a refresher, you might be wondering why I declared this as public. This is purely because I want to take you on a step-by-step journey. So over the next few lectures, we're going to look at this in detail. All right, we have created a new class. Next, I'm going to show you how to create instances of this class.